And maybe we could use an example, say like dog bowl or something like that. When people are setting up campaign infrastructure and they're doing it manually, what are the things that they're missing out on that an AI driven tool could help them with?
Absolutely. So I'll come to that point, but before that, let me explain what we did with EVA because like we are believers of AI, but we realize that it is not about the system only deciding what to do because that's kind of a black box approach. And over the last couple of years, even we started with our journey with pricing. And 3 years ago, we were talking about dynamic pricing with you, David. And for many years, the customers said, we don't like the black box approach. We don't like what, like, without knowing, doing things that like AI, basically, it's like, why did you do it? And the answer is AI, right? So, and then it's not satisfactory for many of the Amazon sellers because they know what they are doing too. They want automation, but they know. So we came up with the idea of configurable AI, meaning that the AI works, but you define your own rules and the rules override the AI. We kind of like give this analogy of like today, the 25 AI technologies called the AI agents. Basically, you create your own agent based on the foundation of EVA AI, but then you define your own rules so that you kind of like address like four main pillars of automation. Now, one of them is like campaign creation, and maybe the other one is bid optimization. I'll talk about the other two pillars, but let's think about the campaign creation and bid optimization. So, first of all, back to the example that you gave, the system already it knows everything. Like, I mean, in the past, people use tools like Helium 10 or some other tools, Jungle Scout, etc. Try to understand like which keywords, what is the search volume, exit. But this data is now available on the Amazon, reports. Now the question is, do you really want the PPC guy to go into these reports like search term report, SQPR, etc., and then figure out like which keywords are now appearing as a result of an automated campaign. And now let's kind of create a new campaign out of that, right? So that is where the EVA AI automates based on, the Amazon data and based on like, basically we have access right now to almost 10,000 brands data and brings it together and decides whether it makes sense to create a campaign or not. Now, let's assume that the EVA AI already decides creating these campaigns and kind of thinks that if a keyword has 200 impressions, I should create a campaign. So that's the EVA AI way. Okay. Now, as a business owner, you think that, the profit level that you have or the category or your experience basically says that, I mean, you want to create campaigns when there is more than 500 impressions. Now, on top of it, you are even more cautious. You want to add like, also, I would like to see at least 2 organic orders. I don't know. So you basically define whatever rule you want to define based on 50 parameters that are all available, anything that is imaginable on Amazon that you can define a parameter like CVR, CTR, ACOS, TACOS, revenue, organic sales, whatever. Like think about all of them is available. You define your own rule and you overwrite AI. If there is a rule defined, then you overwrite the AI. So that's kind of our design principle. You as the owner define the rules. If you don't define any rules, AI works. If you define the rules, you'll overwrite the AI. The combination of that is your special store specific AI agent, which works on your terms. That's the idea.